Assalamualaikum, this is Snan and today we're going to talk about the hindgut. We're going to talk about the derivatives of the hindgut. We're going to talk about the cloaca, which is chamber in the hindgut. We're going to talk about the anal canal, and finally we're going to talk about some facts about the enteric nervous system. So let's start. Hindgut. The hindgut is the caudal portion of the primitive gut, which gives rise to the left 1/3 of the transverse colon, give rise to the descending colon, sigmoidal colon, give rise to this rectum and the superior part of the anal canal, along with the epithelium of urinary bladder and urethra. The artery of the hindgut is the inferior mesenteric artery, which supplies all its derivatives. Now, talking about the mesentery of the hindgut, the mesentery of the descending colon disappears because it fuses with the posterior abdominal wall. Here is the descending colon with its mesentery, and it is then pushed toward the posterior abdominal wall, and consequently it fuses with it and becomes a retroperitoneal structure. While the mesentery of sigmoidal colon is retained, so it is a intraperitoneal structure. Now, first of all, talking about the cloaca. The cloaca is a chamber into which the hindgut and the allantois empty. Here is the cloaca, and in which the allantois, which is a finger-like diverticulum of the umbilical vesicle, enters ventrally, while the hindgut enters caudally, and this is the cloaca, this portion. Now, cloaca is attached to the cloacal membrane, which is attached to the external environment. Cloacal membrane is formed of endoderm of the cloaca and the ectoderm of the anal pit. This portion in the circle is the cloacal membrane. The blue line shows the ectoderm, and the yellow and this line shows the endoderm. So the cloacal membrane is formed the ectoderm of this pit known as anal pit, and the endoderm of the cloaca, which is a chamber common to both allantois and hindgut. In the next step, partitioning of cloaca, which is common chamber, occurs. Now this partitioning occurs via the urorectal septum, which is the invagination of the surrounding mesenchyme. It divides the cloaca into a ventral and the dorsal portion. The ventral portion, which was allantois, gave rise to the urogenital sinus, while the dorsal portion, which was the hindgut, gave rise to the rectum. Here, the mesenchyme is shown in the pink is invaginating into the cloaca. Its ventral portion, which was the allantois, and dorsal portion, which was the hindgut, gets converted into a ventral urogenital sinus, shown here in the zoom, ventral urogenital sinus, and the dorsal rectum, while the urorectal septum is invaginating, which is the surrounding subsplanchnic mesoderm. So that ultimately the urorectal septum divides the cloaca, which was this chamber, into two portions. The ventral portion, which becomes the developing urinary bladder known as the urogenital sinus, and the dorsal portion, which becomes the rectum. So here shown in the zone, urogenital sinus, which becomes the developing urinary bladder, and the dorsal hindgut, which becomes the rectum, shown in the transverse section here, urogenital sinus and rectum here. So the rectum is formed. Now the structure we're going to talk about is the anal canal. The anal canal is first obliterated, which is present caudal to the rectum. Rectum is first obliterated due to the proliferation of the cells there, and then it is recanalized. The anal canal has two portions, a superior 2/3 portion and the inferior 1/3 portion, which is at junction, whole junction are at the pectinate line. Here is the pectinate line. This whole area is anal canal. The blue one shown is the inferior 1/3, while the yellow one is the superior 2/3, which is continuous with the rectum. Now the superior 2/3 which is above the pectinate line comes from the hindgut, is supplied by the superior rectal vessels, which are the branch of inferior mesenteric artery and veins. Consist of the inferior mesenteric lymph node and are supplied by the nerves from the autonomic nervous system. Since they are supplied by the autonomic nervous system, they are painless even when a tumor is formed there. Talking about the inferior 1/3, that is formed by the anal pit, and I have said earlier that anal pit is the ectodermal invagination inside the area of the anus, near the area of the anus. So inferior 1/3 of the anal canal is formed by the anal pit. It is supplied by the inferior rectal nerve, which is sensitive to pain, touch, stimulation, etc. It is supplied by the inferior rectal vessels, vein and arteries, which are the branch of the internal pudendal vessels. And finally, the lymph node include the superficial inguinal lymph node, which are the superficial lymph node of the thigh. Now, the anal canal, we have talked about the anal canal. At the final stages of the development of the gastrointestinal tract, the cloacal membrane which closes the anal canal at the anus ruptures due to apoptosis and opens the anus to the exterior, and this concludes the formation of the hindgut. An important fact in today's fun fact is that the gastrointestinal system has its own intrinsic nervous system, which is known as the enteric nervous system. This nervous system doesn't require any input from the brain or spinal cord. It works on its own, that is autonomously. It consists of ganglionic plexuses, from which the enteric neurons are released, and it is highly complex. The enteric nervous system is formed when the neural crest cells migrate to the foregut during its development. So that was all for today. Please subscribe the channel and thank you.